One of the great things about this method is that students can't just sit back at their desk and relax and hibernate.
It helps me know where I need help or where I am good.
The teacher has more time to help you with your math.
I really do believe that the students learn better under this method.
With show and tell math, I can't just sit and relax. I actually have to concentrate my mind on the board knowing I have to present.
We found out that students who were going from Algebra 1 to Algebra 2 still did not know how to do the Algebra 1 concepts. We needed a more efficient way of being able to tell if they knew what they were doing in real time so that we could correct it before they started making mistakes.
Gets the students active, interested, and participating more than a traditional style math class.
Show and tell math is what we call performance-based math. It's the instructional strategy we use for all of our math classes. What we do is this. We have students go to the board, one at a time or a few at a time, and they solve problems showing every step involved. They show the steps, and if requested, they explain the steps. That's why we call it show and tell. Usually, they are given 2 problems to solve per concept. That's sufficient to determine understanding of the concept. More than that would just be overkill. When not at the board, students are preparing for their turn. One nice thing about this method is teachers don't have to change how they're teaching the concepts or presenting the concepts to the students. You can be as creative as you've been in the past in your classroom with this. The main thing is this is a method of assessment for the students, and they get up to the board and they prove to you that they actually know how to do a given concept.
I show my steps at the board because if I make a mistake, the teachers will know right away.
Yes, I show all the steps in my work, so when I get to the board and I mess up on a certain part, I could just go back and look at it and fix it.
We were very curious to see how this method would work for the ELL, or English Language Learning students. We have a high percentage of basic ELL students at our school this year. The success rate has been every bit as high for those students as for any other students. And what I like about it best for ELL is that when they come up to the board, we can give them immediate feedback about what they're doing. One of the great things about this method is that students can't just sit back at their desk and relax and hibernate. They must be active in this process. And because they have to get up at the board and present concepts, they don't want to be embarrassed when they get up there, so they truly learn how to do it before they get up there. We've been successfully using this method this year in all of our math classes at school, all the way from the arithmetic class through the calculus class, and we've had great results. I can envision this method being good for elementary school teachers or even middle school teachers. You can tailor the class and the way it's run to your particular curriculum and the age level of your students. Our school operates on a block type schedule, but we've also been able to experiment and try this method in one of our math classes that meets every day. And I'm convinced that this method can work in any type of school schedule that's out there.
I do my homework because it's really important for me to pass every concept.
Yes, I do my homework. I do it because it helps me before I go and do the work on the board.
No. I take a look at it to see if there are any glaring errors, and I look at it to make sure that they've completed it, but I do not grade it.
No, I do not have to grade the homework. I'm able to visually assess the students.
When we first used this method, we used it in an algebra class where we had team teaching going on, and we were very happy with the results. We were then curious at how this would work with teachers who were by themselves in the classroom, and this year we've had 2 teachers that are doing that. And we simply had to plan differently in the classes, but teachers have been very, very happy with the results. Here's an example of a concept sheet that a student would fill out when they feel ready to present a concept. In this case, the concept name is distance formula. They put their name, they put the date, And then when they come up to present the concept, we attach the homework for that concept to this sheet. If they successfully complete a concept, we check that the concept has been demonstrated, we put the date, and then we have the student fill out the bottom portion of this for anything that applies. If we look at the homework and they have not finished or turned in the homework for the concept, we ask them to write an explanation down here of why. One of the best things about this method is that the student has to step up to the plate. They know where they stand in the class at all times, and in order to get up to present a concept, they have to have the homework completed, first of all, to do that. And then if they get up and they don't successfully present, they need to go back and practice. And sometimes that means they need to come in after school for extra help, and the teacher doesn't necessarily have to beg them to do that because they know they're going to have to get up there the next day and try the concept again. This is the page from the grade book. We've covered up the names, but we would normally write them in this column here. We write the dates that our class meets in the appropriate weeks here at the top. The slash marks in the grade book indicate a student absence, and then the 100s indicate when a student has actually passed a concept that they presented at the board. The concepts for the 6 weeks are written at the bottom of the grade book in the order they need to be presented in. We also include our state standard codes. And one thing I like about the grade book is I can look at a student at any given time and know exactly what their grade is in the class. If you look at this particular student, you can see there are 100s all the way across, all the way up to the 10 concepts. So I know that that student is finished presenting concepts for the 6 weeks and they have a 100% in the class.